R. Kelly hires Bill Cosby's lawyer in quest for freedom. Embattled singer R. Kelly is enlisting the legal help of Bill Cosby's high-profile attorney to appeal his racketeering and conviction.
Life sentence for R. Kelly.
This man is a prolific serial who utilized his status as a Grammy award-winning household name to inflict pain and anguish on so many victims.
He wanted revenge, and that was his revenge to fund the Surviving R. Kelly documentary, and that fucked R. Kelly life and got him locked up. So technically, to me,
it looks like things are getting pretty wild. Rumors are swirling that R. Kelly might be ready to spill some serious tea on Jay-Z. Kelly, who's been locked up for his notorious crimes, is allegedly chatting with the feds.
You just never know how the situation's going to turn out. It's an X factor that you can't even calculate in your mind.
But here's where it gets interesting. R. Kelly isn't the only one with skeletons in the closet. Jay-Z's past might not be as squeaky clean as everyone thinks. We're talking about some shady stuff, maybe even darker than what Kelly got caught up in. The difference? Kelly got busted while Jay-Z has managed to keep his tracks covered until now. With reports claiming that Kelly's handing over some pretty incriminating footage, it raises the question, what exactly has Jay-Z been hiding all these years? And why is Kelly suddenly cozying up to the authorities? Is this just a desperate attempt to save himself? Or is there something much bigger going on here? However, the biggest question is why Kelly is choosing this moment to turn on Jay-Z. Is he trying to divert attention from his own mess? Or is there a larger conspiracy at play? Are the feds using Kelly to go after a bigger fish? Or is this just the tip of the iceberg in what could be a massive scandal ready to shake the music world to its core? Keep your eyes peeled, because this story is far from over. It's only going to get more explosive from here. R. Kelly's lawyer, Jennifer Bonjean, recently appeared on TMZ Live to discuss his latest Supreme Court appeal. She laid out a pretty solid argument, and even hinted that the current Supreme Court might actually be the most favorable to hear R. Kelly's case, politics aside. So here's the tea. R. Kelly is asking the Supreme Court to throw out his convictions related to crimes with minors, claiming that these alleged offenses happened too long ago and should be dismissed under the statute of limitations.
R. Kelly is asking the United States Supreme Court to throw out his convictions for possession of child and inducing to have.
Back in 2020, Kelly was charged with possessing explicit content and having inappropriate relations with underage girls during the 90s. He argued that too much time had passed for these charges to stick, but the prosecutors countered with a 2003 law called the PROTECT Act, which essentially made the statute of limitations indefinite for certain crimes against young people. Bonjean's argument hinges on the timing. Since Kelly's actions took place in the 90s and the PROTECT Act wasn't passed until 2003, she argues that it shouldn't apply retroactively to him. The Act says the statute of limitations is indefinite for crimes committed after 2003, but it doesn't mention anything about applying to earlier offenses.
Jennifer Bonjean argues that because the conduct for which R. Kelly is now serving time occurred in the 1990s, but the Project Act wasn't passed until 2003, the Act's expanded statute of limitations doesn't apply to the charges against him.
Now, here's where things get even more tangled. If this appeal actually makes it to the Supreme Court and they decide to hear it, Jay-Z might find himself in hot water too. His past could hold some pretty dark secrets, possibly even worse than Kelly's. But that's not all. Guys, R. Kelly seems firm, and he has some serious evidence against Jay-Z. Remember those wild accusations against R. Kelly involving a 17-year-old guy? Well, R. Kelly is adamant that he's innocent and claims the media twisted the story. He says these accusations were all part of a bigger scheme to control artists. You've probably heard how some artists get lured into sketchy parties without knowing it and then end up being exploited. R. Kelly has seen this shady side of the industry up close and tried to speak out against it. And guess what? Jay-Z was supposedly mixed up in all that too. So here's the scoop. After their Best of Both Worlds album collaboration went south, R. Kelly took Jay-Z to court, suing him for a jaw-dropping $70 million. R. Kelly won, and that definitely hit Jay-Z where it hurts his bank account. Imagine the kind of anger that would stir up. Some folks even believe that Jay-Z might have funded that infamous documentary to get back at R. Kelly, which eventually led to Kelly ending up behind bars. Here's something even more intriguing. R.Kelly has actually thrown accusations at Jay-Z, suggesting that he's involved in some questionable behavior. The evidence? Kelly's close friend, Ronnie B. Ronnie explained why he's sticking by R.Kelly. He's frustrated that Kelly seems to be the only one facing the consequences while Jay-Z is walking away unscathed. Jay-Z and Kelly have a history. They even dropped 2 albums together. But back in 2004, their Best of Both Worlds tour, named after their 2002 joint album, hit a major snag during its first show at Madison Square Garden in New York. Reportedly, R.Kelly pulled the plug on the tour because he was getting death threats. When asked to get back on stage, he refused, leading to a heated altercation that ended with Kelly in the hospital. That incident marked the beginning of their fallout, and from that point on, Jay-Z and Kelly were never seen together again. Ronnie shared in an interview that R.Kelly confided this secret only to him, even though everyone was dying to know what really happened between the two artists.
Everybody in there was asking me, like, what happened with you and Jay-Z? Because it was rumors, like, back then. I was one of the ones that was more so close to him, so. He opened up to other people, but he opened up to me about that yeah.
When asked why Kelly decided to blow the whistle on Jay-Z to the authorities, Ronnie revealed that it was because Jay-Z had climbed to a position of power in the industry. Jay-Z had enough clout to dodge trouble that Kelly couldn't escape from. What kind of influence was Kelly referring to? Well, it's well known that Jay-Z owns Roc Nation, giving him serious sway over the media. And having the media on your side is a huge advantage when it comes to power and control. Kelly even mentioned this to Ronnie, saying, "Jay-Z's got the whole media in his pocket. That's how he keeps his image squeaky clean while I'm left to take the fall."
The media is the most dangerous weapon that the United States have. And he said it's because they can make the innocent.
Ronnie hinted that Jay-Z might have orchestrated a bit of payback against R.Kelly. With the power Jay-Z wields, especially with the whole media empire at his disposal, it wouldn't be too hard for him to spin the narrative in his favor and make people believe whatever he wants. So is this the reason why R.Kelly is facing all the charges while Jay-Z roams around freely? But word on the street is that Jay-Z took things to the next level, allegedly trying to get at R.Kelly while he was locked up.
Tonight, an inmate claims he snuck into R. Kelly's jail cell to attack the singer.
A dangerous inmate who ended up attacking R. Kelly in jail. But Farmer isn't just any prisoner, he's a known member of the Latin Kings, a gang with a reputation for being ruthless. Jeremiah Farmer, now 39, has a criminal history that's nothing short of terrifying. He's not only been convicted of murder, but also for the gruesome killing of 2 businessmen back in 1999. And that's just a glimpse of his long list of criminal activities. His involvement in conspiracy, which dates back to 1999, was outlined by federal prosecutors. This wasn't just about making money, it was about carrying out a string of horrific acts, from attempted murder to aggravated assault and drug distribution. These weren't just ordinary crimes. Some of Farmer's most notorious acts include the brutal murder of Marion Lowry and Harvey Segar, owners of Caledo Rebuilders. These 2 businessmen were brutally beaten to death with a hammer at their place of business in Hammond. Farmer left a trail of fear and devastation, deeply impacting the communities he terrorized. Paul Keenan, the FBI special agent in charge, described Farmer's violent actions as having a profound effect on the community. Taking Farmer off the streets wasn't just about locking up a dangerous criminal, it was a statement that such violence wouldn't be tolerated. By July 2019, Farmer was finally facing the consequences of his crimes. Alongside 42 other gang members convicted of conspiracy and various charges, he was sentenced to life in prison. But even while serving time, his story took an unexpected twist. In a downtown Chicago jail, where R. Kelly was awaiting trial for his own legal troubles, Farmer found a new target for his rage. In a handwritten letter to the 7th Circuit Court of Appeals, Farmer made a shocking confession he had attacked R. Kelly while they were both behind bars. According to Farmer, this assault was a desperate attempt to draw attention to what he claimed was government corruption in his own case. He painted himself as a whistleblower, claiming he was trying to expose the injustice in his prosecution. This revelation thrust Farmer back into the spotlight, raising questions about the circumstances surrounding the attack on Kelly. Farmer's claims portrayed a picture of frustration and desperation. He claimed that he turned to violence as a last resort, hoping to highlight the issues he believed were being overlooked in his case. With the chaos of the COVID-19 pandemic, limited access to legal resources, and feeling abandoned by his defense team, Farmer saw attacking Kelly as a way to draw attention to his own plight, arguing that the justice system had failed him. The details of the attack are chilling. Kelly was asleep in his cell at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in downtown Chicago when Farmer launched his assault. Reports say that Farmer repeatedly punched Kelly before a prison employee intervened using pepper spray. Farmer allegedly had an ink pen that he intended to use as a weapon against Kelly. The attack left Kelly battered and bruised, and Farmer was quickly transferred to another prison, his brief moment in the spotlight fading as fast as it had appeared. Despite Farmer's claims, rumors persist that Jay-Z might have been behind the attack. There's talk that Jay-Z not only tried to harm R. Kelly, but also allegedly got Kelly's cellmate, Ronnie B., shot. And did I mention that Ronnie B. was Kelly's close friend and the one Kelly confided in? He even gave his views about the whole Jay-Z and Kelly messed up situation, allegedly pointing towards Jay-Z for putting R. Kelly in jail. But the thing is, Jay-Z and R. Kelly's relationship wasn't always this messed up. Jay-Z and R. Kelly were pretty close, both in and out of the studio. They hit up the same parties, shopped at the same places, and even had some overlapping romantic interests. But things get complicated when you think about R. Kelly's dark side. With all the accusations against R. Kelly, people are starting to question if Jay-Z might have been involved or at least aware of what was going on. Rumor has it that Jay-Z might not have just been ignoring R. Kelly's bad behavior. Some folks think he might have been in the thick of it, maybe even helping to cover it up. For example, there's the case of Aaliyah. R. Kelly allegedly married her when she was just 15. Legally, she couldn't sign off on any documents because she was too young. She needed a parent or guardian. But R. Kelly somehow got papers saying Aaliyah was 18, making the marriage appear legal. Eventually, the truth came out that R. Kelly, who was well into his 20s at the time, had forged documents to marry a minor. The marriage was eventually annulled, but R. Kelly managed to avoid jail time. If this had happened in 2024, R. Kelly would likely have faced a social media backlash, investigations for document forgery, and been quickly canceled from the industry. But back in the 90s, things were different. Jay-Z didn't distance himself from R. Kelly. Instead, they even released a joint album and went on tour together. In fact, back in 2002, Nas hinted that Jay-Z was aware of R. Kelly's inappropriate behavior with underage girls, including Aaliyah. Nas even brought it up on Wendy Williams' radio show when a tape of R. Kelly with a younger girl surfaced. In the interview, he said, "I could have showed the R. Kelly video that everybody's talking about and made fun of it and show pictures of Jay hanging out. You can't tell me Jay didn't see a 14-year-old girl come into the studio and sit on R. Kelly's lap. You're going to tell me he didn't see no 14-year-old girl come into the vicinity?" When those serious charges came down on R. Kelly, Jay-Z tried to play it off like they were never really friends, but the rumor mill was buzzing with talk that Jay-Z had a big thing for Aaliyah, and pretty much everyone in the industry, including her boyfriend Dame Dash, was aware of it. Dame even spilled the tea on page 6, saying he did everything he could. He mentioned, "I did not mean to fall in love with Aaliyah, she was just that cool. But you know, we were both going hard. Everybody was trying to get to Aaliyah. It was not just Jay." But here's where things get interesting. Aaliyah started leaning towards Dame, and Jay-Z wasn't too happy about it. We all know Jay-Z isn't one to take losses lightly. Things really took a turn when Aaliyah and Dame made their relationship official, and Jay-Z found out at a 4th of July party they all attended. Jaguar right later came forward, backing up Dame's side of the story. According to her, Jay-Z didn't take it well and decided to get back at Dame by sabotaging his business and betraying him, all because Dame ended up with the girl. While R. Kelly is in jail for things that some say Jay-Z has also done, it seems R. Kelly might be plotting revenge to get Jay-Z behind bars too. Many believe it might not take long, as there is supposedly plenty of evidence against Jay-Z as well. But the big question remains, even if R. Kelly exposes the real culprit, will he be able to secure his own freedom? At this point, Jay-Z is surrounded by controversies, and another person who's in the spotlight with him is Foxy Brown, who brings her own set of controversies to the table. Foxy, long associated with Jay-Z, found herself at the center of some serious rumors. Foxy Brown, whose real name is Inga Marchand, has made some serious accusations against Jay-Z. She's opened up about the challenges she faced on her path to rap stardom, especially during her younger years. According to reports, Foxy has alleged that when she was just 15, Jay-Z, who was 27 at the time, was involved in her life in more ways than one. There are also rumors swirling that Jay-Z might have a preference for relationships with transgender individuals. According to these claims, Foxy Brown revealed that she found out about this after someone from that community started contacting and harassing her following her alleged involvement with Jay-Z. To make matters worse, the situation was further complicated by an alleged health issue. There were whispers about an inappropriate relationship between Jay-Z and Foxy when she was underage. The story goes that when Jay-Z could no longer control Foxy, he allegedly took steps to derail her career, essentially freezing her out of the industry. Rumor has it that he funded her shopping sprees and pampering sessions at hair and nail salons while she was still in high school, allegedly in exchange for intimacy. This was later confirmed by his longtime friend and former business partner, Dame Dash, who got pretty defensive when asked about the rumored affair between Jay-Z and Foxy. According to these allegations, Jay-Z started getting close to Foxy when she was really young. Their connection began when Foxy was just 14 or 15, making her debut with LL Cool J's I Shot Ya remix. As Foxy made her way up in the music industry, she collaborated with many big names, but her standout partner was Jay-Z, with whom she co-wrote and performed frequently. Foxy first met Jay-Z when she was just a teenager at 15, while he was already in his late 20s, around 27. They quickly developed a noticeable chemistry on stage, with Jay-Z often bringing her along on his tours while she was still in high school. When Foxy signed with Def Jam, rumors started swirling about a potential romantic link between her and Jay-Z, especially after their steamy collaboration on Ain't No featured on the Nutty Professor soundtrack in 1996. The track got a lot of attention, not just for its catchy beat, but also for its explicit lyrics, which were particularly controversial given Foxy's young age at the time. At the age of 17, Foxy Brown dropped her debut album Il Na Na Eh. Influenced by Jay-Z, the album was a hit, but it also stirred up more concerns about the explicit content she was delivering. It seemed like Foxy was on track to start a new chapter in her career, but things took a downturn. Despite having Jay-Z as a mentor and collaborator, she started to fade from the spotlight. Instead of continuing to rise, people began to wonder why her career stumbled when she had such a powerful figure in her corner. Foxy was incredibly talented and always spoke highly of Jay-Z, yet it seemed like he didn't do much to help her stay on top in the industry. Rumors began to swirl that as Foxy became more independent and realized the unhealthy nature of her relationship with Jay-Z, things started to go downhill. As she grew older, she no longer wanted to be kept in the shadows as Jay-Z's secret. That's when everything changed. Jay-Z not only ended things with her personally, but he also cut ties professionally. He stopped working with her, and to make matters worse, he allegedly blacklisted her in the industry. Sources even claimed that Jay-Z made sure no one in the business wanted to work with her. On top of that, Foxy had some beef with others in the industry, which only made things harder for her. It's crazy to think about how this story unfolded: Jay-Z getting involved with a teenager and then completely cutting her off when she decided she wanted something different. However, that's not the only case. Jay-Z has allegedly taken steps to stay on top, even if it meant holding others back. A prime example often mentioned is Beanie Sigel. Jay-Z helped launch Beanie's career, and his debut album, The Truth, dropped in 2000 to critical acclaim and commercial success, hitting number 5 on the Billboard 200. Beanie was on the rise, and it looked like he was on his way to becoming one of the greats. However, industry insiders whisper that Jay-Z might not have been thrilled about Beanie's potential to outshine him. TK Kirkland recently shared that a producer connected to Rockefeller Records, where Beanie was signed, claimed Jay-Z intentionally kept Beanie Sigel's success in check. According to this insider, there was an unspoken rule that no artist on the label could surpass Jay-Z in record sales or popularity. It was as if there was a ceiling on how far you could go under Jay-Z's label. And for Beanie, that meant his albums weren't pushed as hard as they could have been, regardless of their potential. Many fans find the idea of Jay-Z sabotaging Beanie Sigel's career a bit hard to believe. They argue that Jay-Z did a lot to help Beanie's career, and that it was ultimately Beanie's own choices that led to his professional decline. However, there are still those who are convinced that some level of sabotage was involved. They believe Jay-Z saw Beanie as a potential threat to his own position in the rap game and decided to put a cap on Beanie's success. Beanie Sigel himself has shared some personal stories that hint not everything was smooth between him and Jay-Z. He talked about how Jay-Z influenced his approach to writing music, encouraging Beanie to adopt his own style of not writing lyrics down, which was a big shift in Beanie's creative process. A particularly tough moment for Beanie came in 2003 during his legal battles with attempted murder and federal weapons charges. Although Jay-Z did show up to support him in court, he made it clear that he wouldn't take responsibility for keeping Beanie out of trouble. This was a huge disappointment for Beanie, who had looked up to Jay-Z as a brotherly figure. It shattered his trust and changed the way he felt about their relationship. Beanie said, "I never been crushed like that ever in my life. That effed me up. That took away a lot of S that I thought we had, like, that's big bro." Given that Jay-Z has dominated the music industry for so long and pretty much did whatever he wanted with those he favored, many fans believe R.Kelly exposing him might be the right move. However, that doesn't necessarily mean it would free R.Kelly from his own crimes. With no clear decision from the court yet, only time will tell what the future holds for both of them. That's it for today's video, guys. Thanks for watching.